Aloha! Welcome to my first video. Today we'll be talking about what thoughts are and why we have so many of them. So a lot of this would be to do with my personal experiences, added up with what I've learned and whatnot. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't. So thoughts. If you think about it, when we were born, just as a child, right? There's nothing in and out of the brain. If there was no such thing as words, then it would have literally nothing in the brain, right? So if we take this to an instance with why we have words now, obviously to communicate, right? So whatever the child, the baby, whatever it accumulates during the ages of 0 to 7 gets stored into their mind. So whatever their inner voices are when they grow up is literally the voices they had from the ages of 0 to 7. And from the ages of 0 to 7 is when your most, you could say, painful or whatever moments triggered you from the ages of 0 to 7 plays a massive impact in your reality right now. So I learned that time isn't linear. That means everything's happening now, and your body remembers and stores memories and things that happen. So if we think about like a reflex, when someone goes to like hit you or something, we're talking physically, and your body will remember that pattern. So do you know how you go to the gym, your body remembers how you do the weights and stuff or not? That's how you build muscle, right? And it goes with the same with emotional. So like if you were yelled at for even the smallest thing, because when we're a child we take everything literally, right? We don't have a sense of explanation or the levels of a word. So we have many different levels in words. So it's like we, compared to a child, we would understand the level of a word in more depth because we've experienced more, so we understand the word more. But for a child that hasn't experienced much and is just learning, the child learns, and whatever it's experienced, it just understands all this. And do you know how English, there's so many different angles to a word? Like you can say a word for anything, not anything, but there's so many different words that could mean so many different things, and there's the same words that mean different things as well. So it's like whatever that child learns, this means this means that. And then when they grow up, they have so much more variety of what things mean. So it's like this could be in anything sort of thing. And it's like if you were to have a really traumatizing upbringing, it could be physical or even getting yelled at in the moment, saying like, no, stop doing that, or why are you doing that, or even questioning a child, that puts him in a state of fear. So when you tell that child, why are you doing that, the child, if we were to put our shoes in their perspective and realize in that moment, the child would be thinking, oh, why am I doing this? And see, in that moment then on, that creates a memory, a neuron, which gets stored. Remember how I was just talking about your body remembers and stores things? It could be negative or positive as well. So in this instance, the child remembers that as a negative time. So it's like, because it's all to do with feelings, how we feel. It ties down with our thoughts, because if we think about saying a word, that word could give you a feeling. And it's like if you were to be called annoying or fat or something, that would be another neuron memory. And it's like whenever you get called that word or something, a memory would come up and it would remind you about the past or about that memory or about the specific event. And these memories get stored and trapped into our energy field. And because in that moment you hold, whoa, you hold on. Oh my gosh, so you hold on to that memory. It's really sunny. You hold on to that memory. So, if we were to think about this, putting ourselves in the child's shoes, it's like questioning every single thing. So that one memory asking like, oh, why are you doing that? The child is like, oh, why am I doing that? And then, yeah, as I was saying, it gets stored. And then the next situation happens and another situation happens. And every time that happens in your life, and think about how many times that has happened in our lives, how many memories would we have stored in our body from different stories that we continue to tell ourselves as well. So every time our parents have told us no, or every time our parents have said like, stop doing that. If we think about those words I just said, every time you want to do something, your mind will tell you, no, stop doing that. Every time you want to do something, you might just question yourself and think, why am I doing that? And that is the loop that you create. So once you keep telling yourself something, it becomes your reality, right? And you believe that is true. So in this instance, as I was saying, time is not linear, meaning everything is happening now. How many stories would we have to tell ourselves about things, and how many times do we have to accept what our mind is telling us? Do you know what I mean? So like in every single moment in your time, how many times have you not done what you wanted to do? Or when you have that aha moment, it's like, I want to do that, but then your mind will shut you down. And it's like, that is happening right now. So, how do we get rid of this? It's to do with just releasing. And what I learned is there's actually nothing wrong with anyone. It's just literally our mind is in a role play, it's in a loop. So if we talk about loops now, one loop is, why are you doing that? It could be interconnected with another loop, which is, no, don't do that. And then it will be interconnected, and it keeps going and going. So once you uncover that you are good enough, it will be connected to something else, and then you've got to go through that one and then the next one. That's why when you realize, wait, I actually am good enough, or like you realize something, it's like there's a, you could say test, or life gets hard for that moment on in the middle of an interconnected stage, because in the middle of that interconnected stage is like the cutoff where it's like, I'm about to change, but it's connected to something else, and I've got to fix that next thing as well. And then once you uncover the next thing, my earphones, cover the next thing, it's like you come back to that thing and you realize you're good enough again, but then you got to finish off the next loop, and then it just keeps going in loops, if you know what I'm saying. So now I've uncovered why we have thoughts is because of what we've been told. And let me just clarify that it's no one's fault at the end of the day. If we were all aware of this, then obviously we would be doing something about it, right? It's not my parents' fault, because they only tell you what they got told, and so on, with generation to generation. And they're only treating you from how much they know and what they feel about themselves. Just to add another thing, how people treat you is literally a reflection of themselves on how they feel about themselves. scenario. I feel like everyone's been this, like, judge someone or something. And I can say this is a fact for sure, because every time I would think like, oh, why is she wearing that? Or how come he did that? It's literally because our parents would ask us, oh, why did you do that? How come you did that? So then it just plays on now, if you know what I'm saying. See how that memory is tied into something else from the past, trauma or past memory that we've held on to. And then when it happens in our reality, we question, why is this, why is that, or how come? Because if you think about it, if we were all healed and really loved ourselves, we wouldn't even have to question a single person out here, or what they're doing or why they're doing that. Everyone is their own person, and us saying that, why is she doing this, why is he doing that, or what's happening, it's like, why do we even have to have that opinion? We're just going against someone without even realizing it. And obviously this is all unintentional and whatnot, but I find it really fascinating that every time I would have a comment, it's like, wait, but why am I even thinking that, if you know what I mean? It's like, where are my thoughts stemming from? What memory is causing me to actually think like this? And how many times has that happened in our life? It's crazy to think, like, my thoughts are creating my reality as well. And that's the truth. Every time you have a thought, as I was saying, it gives you a feeling. And when it gives you a feeling, you have the same thoughts. And then you keep having the same thoughts. Every word is tied down to a different feeling. Everything is energy. If we think about it, we manifest things into our lives. How? Because we are connected to that thing, meaning we are like a magnet, and we're able to attract that thing into our life because of what we think. So if I was to keep thinking like, I'm not good enough, coincidence, I'm not good enough, and I kept thinking that, and I brought along the feeling of I'm not good enough, what will be shown in my reality? People that are not good enough for me. You see me? So if we think about it, who in my life right now is not giving me, or I'm not feeling loved, or who's in my life that I feel a bit off with, or don't feel fully connected to, or feel fully loved? And it's just a straight bam hit middle, a reflection of how you feel about yourself. So if we would ask ourselves, why do I feel like this about myself? What was that? What was I saying? Why do I feel like that about myself? Once you ask that question and let it go, the answer will come to you, oh, it was from this, or oh, it was from that. Because the universe is really mysterious, right? It goes down and ties down to ask and you shall receive. But there's a bit of other information going on in between. So if we were to ask the universe something and then keep questioning, why am I this, why am I that, and keep questioning that, you're holding on to that energy again. So you keep thinking like, why this, why that? So you haven't actually let the question go yet. And the universe can't give you something if you're holding on to something else or something in your life. It's like, you got to make the space so you're able to understand or attract that thing, or understand why that's happened, or why I have these thoughts, or why I feel like this. And it's funny because thoughts is a very big topic, and there's so many things in between to why we have thoughts, and thoughts tying to feelings, and feelings literally being your reality. How you feel about a word is how you feel about yourself. And it's like, if someone was to say and keep saying something and you get like that twitch of like anything or the ick or something, it's like straight up there's a connection there, there's something there. And it's good to always question yourself, because as I was saying, the answer will come to you once you've let go and fully just trust the universe that you'll get and receive the answer. And this also ties down to manifestation. But that goes for why we have thoughts. And I'll just quickly add in as well how to release thoughts as well that we don't want to think anymore. How to do this is to, yes, one, you can ask the universe, let it go. And two, we can just release it. So all we have to say, you can sit down or stand up wherever you are and just close your eyes, whatever feels comfortable for you, in a prayer position on your heart. This is a mudra for intuition. So when you do this, it connects you straight to your intuition. So your heart always knows the answer. So you don't even have to ask the universe. Everything that you feel is within, and when you feel it, you'll know as well. But if you're unsure and you have a lot of thoughts about it still, then yeah, ask the universe, of course. But yeah, put your hands like this, because when you put your hands like this, you're connecting. Your hands are like, well, they are portals, and they have so much energy, and your hands are used to create anything. Anyways, I'll add that onto another video. But if we connect our hands together and take 3 deep breaths. I release these thoughts of, and then you state what you want to release. It no longer serves my highest good. I am no longer attached to these thoughts, and they are not necessary for me to experience anymore. Thank you. I let go with peace, love, and light. And if you want, because everything's energy, you can jump or shake, go for a run or something, because then once you've stated that into the universe, and to yourself, you are like setting yourself free. Because if we think about it, if that energy is trapped in us, it's like there's other ways to get out. Meditation, going for, or anything that you love to do. Anything you love to do helps you to release those thoughts as well, because you're putting your attention on something else. Everything is about intention and attention. This topic is so long. Love that. So intention is what you put out into the universe before or during when you're doing something, and then attention is what you choose to put your focus on for that time. So intention would be more conscious, because you are consciously having an intention. It's like you're not having intention if you're unconscious. And attention, when you keep focusing on those thoughts unconsciously, then you are still attracting that into your reality, and you're still putting that into the universe, which is what you're attracting. Anyways, what I forgot to add as well was from the ages of 0 to 7, you are in a state where you are unconscious, right? So you're not fully aware. You're not fully aware yet. So that's why things will just pass by you, and the child, or whenever you were little, you just accepted everything. And because you accepted everything to be your reality, that's why you feel so like you want to die, or anxiety or something, because you're holding on to all those things. And it's like, we can let them go. And yeah, dancing is really good as well. moving your body, anything that's good for your body, mind and spirit, I would definitely advise, whatever you feel, really. So this is episode 1 with Angelina, and I hope this helps a lot. And I hope you have a lovely day. Peace, love and light. Bye.